What is up, everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you all with another quick live stream. Not sitting at the desk today because, well, I've been sitting a lot today, as a matter of fact. So, since we got the Wi-Fi updated and whatnot, I just wanted to come to you guys with a live stream somewhere else where I could actually be up, walking around, all that type of stuff. So we're back on the patio today. Just wanted to come at you guys with a little bit of a slightly change of pace, another change of pace type of stream or video if you're seeing this once it goes from a live to an actual video upload, of course. I just did a podcast episode recently, which, by the way, if you prefer to listen to us on audio, we do have the podcast now. I'm being a lot more frequent with the uploading on there and all that type of stuff for you guys. But I was just creating a short little podcast episode, podcast exclusive, quote unquote, about this whole idea of poverty, and specifically poverty mindset, poverty thinking, how even if you may have never been in poverty, if you're watching my channel, there's a 50-50 shot that you may have experienced poverty at some point. And because, the numbers show, it's actually quite astonishing. If you have experienced some type of poverty in your life, or some type of, difficulty with, finances, or some sort of trauma, whatever the case may be, the statistics go through the roof in terms of how driven you are to achieve success. And that's what we're actually just talking about on this quick little stream, is how our poverty mindset can actually limit us in our business, in our life, in our finances, that type of thing, and even in our growth, just, as a human, right? It's something that I've really been putting a lot of emphasis on, because I notice I catch myself a lot of times saying a lot of things that people that are quote-unquote broke would say, things like, man, we can't afford that, we can't do this, we can't do that. It sounds so simple and so basic. Like, I know when I even first started hearing this type of advice, I was like, yeah, right, come on now, no one's gonna, this stuff's not gonna really make that big of a difference. This sounds like, hocus pocus type of ridiculousness, right? But literally, there's a couple things. One, gratitude. Are you waking up in the morning and are you just kind of like, here we go, another shit show, another day, whatever the case may be? Or are you waking up with kind of a mindset of, let's go, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. We gotta, not necessarily like, hyper or anything, but, you're just ready to go, ready to attack the day, even though for a fact there's going to be challenges that each day has, especially in the pest control industry. We're a service-based business, right? We're dealing with sometimes pissed off people, or hopefully not pissed off, but people dealing with a problem that they want solved. I got a quote tomorrow, for example, for a guy who has, for the second time this summer, not a current customer of ours, but a customer who, for the second time now this summer, who has reached out to us because they didn't even know they had rodents until the rodent chewed through their plumbing line. So another one of those tricky situations that, of course, we're going into it just kind of like, this is going to be kind of a shit show, but, are you going to have a bad outlook on it, or are you going to have a positive outlook on it? That's the very first thing. How are you waking up? Are you waking up grateful for another day? Do you have gratitude for that day? Or are you just kind of, moseying around, kind of, almost kind of like Eeyore, right? Eeyore's a great example. You kind of just like, oh, I'm here, I don't really want to do this today, but, just another day in paradise. I always love those. Well, I hate them now, but I always love, like, when, you ask somebody, how's it going? And, oh, just living the dream, one nightmare at a time. Like, just those little remarks, they don't seem like much, but saying that type of stuff and even hearing that type of stuff is going to subconsciously affect how the rest of your day unfolds. And from there, that's going to domino effect into how you look at everything, which ultimately is where the whole thought of this video and in that example, the podcast, came from, the whole poverty mindset thing. Because a lot of these things you don't hear rich people saying, you don't hear successful people saying, you don't hear anybody that's done anything in life going around talking about, oh, I'm just living the dream, one nightmare at a time, or oh, I'm just hanging in there, right? They're talking about, their next move, that next thing. Like, they're always looking ahead towards the future. They don't even necessarily care about, they definitely don't care about what's already happened. They learn from what's already happened and apply it to what is happening right now in this moment, and how what they're doing right now in this moment can affect, what's going on in the future. So, just keep some of that stuff in mind, and some of the things when it comes to money, right? Because everything when it comes to poverty correlates with money. Simple things, to stay on the topic of, things that you might say to yourself, right? Some of the things, if you've read any type of financial books, what Robert Kiyosaki, there's a bunch of them out there anymore. I can't, for some reason, I'm blanking off the top of my head. He's one of the big ones, right? Him, Grant Cardone, Dave Ramsey, all these type of people who create these financial books. One of them tend to have a thing in common where even Dave Ramsey, who is very limiting with his own, mindset, because his advice, in my opinion, is for a certain segment of people who they have virtually no financial literacy whatsoever, and his advice works great for people who are fine with, probably just being an employee for most of their life. But of course, that's not what our goal is with, anyone that's really following this channel at the end of the day. If that is you, then, more power to you. But, me and most of you all I know want to really achieve financial freedom. And the point that I was making is a lot of these people who they have achieved, multiples of millions, decamillionaires, or even what's the next one, hectamillionaire, I believe. They're worth tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. They all say the same thing. They say, don't ever say only about the word money. Anything with money, don't ever say only. But the next thing is never say, I can't afford that. Just say how. Instead, you're just changing the wording. Instead of saying, I can't afford that, it's how can I afford that? What do I need to do to afford that? How many phone calls do I need to make to afford that? How many employees maybe do I need to hire to be able to afford that? And this message is more so for those of you who follow the channel and you're looking to, take it to the next level, right? You're not really looking, you may be at six figures, you may be pushing six figures, whatever the case may be. You may have a pest control company already, you may not, because I know a lot of the viewers here tune in and, they're in it for the pest control business content specifically. You may have a business, may not, but at the end of the day, this specific video and the podcast is going to be releasing tomorrow morning is going to be specifically for the entrepreneur, business owner, investor, whatever you want to consider yourself, who wants to really take their life to the next level. I always stress, when it comes to my content, when I'm talking about my business and things of that nature, that, we're not okay with just being a six-figure pest control company, for example. We want to dominate our area. We're to the point where we're dominating our local town. We get pretty much, if there's any pest control lead coming in from the Rowlett, Texas area, we got our hands on it. We're at least the first or second company that's being contacted. So that's the first step. We're dominating that local area, and now we're starting to try to dominate the region. Obviously, that's going to take some more time, effort. It's going to take more than what we've already done, right? Anytime you're growing in finances, in business, in life, in spirituality, whatever the case may be, growth always requires new information, and not just new information, because a lot of you get new information, including myself sometimes. I'm not saying just you guys. I'm the same type of way. I'll go out, get information, just constantly grabbing, and then I don't apply it. Like I get, what do we call it, analysis paralysis, right? Don't want to get too far away from the Wi-Fi, because I got a Wi-Fi booster right over here that's helping us. You don't want to get so much information that you're just like I don't know what to do now. You give a calculator too much information. What does it pop up? A little ERR message. or at least those of us that have used those old school calculators back in the day, right? I don't know if the phone, I've never seen an error message on my phone calculator. It's funny to think about that, but you can, my point is you can get so much information that you end up being stuck because you've gotten analysis of paralysis. So not just getting the information, but acting on that. Like, it's one thing to go out there and get the information, but if you do absolutely nothing with it, that's what I stress to you guys that watch my channel, for example. You know, it's why I was so shocked that, you know, within the last couple months, we've had a lot of people reaching out to me saying that they would like, you know, consultation services, website services, whatever the case may be, which ironically, now that I made a website for you all, I haven't gotten any hits on any of that since then, but we got a few of you that, you know, want to consult from time to time primarily. But my point is like I tell you guys, you don't need to pay me, you don't need to pay anybody, you just need to go out there, learn the information, and more than anything, apply the information. Because if you just go and learn, absorb, and you don't put that to action, what are you learning it for? That's my whole problem with today's modern school system is we put kids in schools for 6 to 10 hours a day. They're learning, and the only application they're getting is some bullshit test that just tests whether you actually like just memorize the information. There's no real life application there at all, which that's a whole other rabbit hole and video that we could do in a different day. But you know, I think too, when it comes to the poverty mindset, the school system definitely plays a large role in that, because of the fact that they train us to absorb, but they don't really focus on how to apply this to the real life. They just tell you, oh, well, if you're gonna want to do this, you need to know this. If you're wanting to do this, you're gonna need to do that. And it's like, okay, well, why do we not have classes surrounding this? Why do we not have, and it's getting better slowly but surely, but it's taking way too long. So yeah, I mean, go out there anytime you want to grow, which if you're watching this channel, you want to grow your life. I already know you do. You don't even have to answer, which hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream, which will be a video, of course, once this uploads. But if you had a random call coming in, hopefully you are enjoying the stream. If you are, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button, all that type of good stuff. And yeah, I forgot where I was. I hate when I get phone calls during a stream. Shoot, totally lost my train of thought. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. And like I said, at the end of the day, you know, take that information, absorb the information. If you need to, go do a little bit of research. I'm not saying just blindly follow any advice, right? You never want to just blindly follow advice. That's just the dumbest thing you could do, right? But go out, take the information, analyze the information. I guess that'd be a better term. Analyze the information and then apply the information. And then it's just a step by step by step. You know, you can't run before you learn to walk, right? So walking would be, okay, I'm learning my information. Analyzing would be, okay, we're taking a little break. And then applying the information is, now we're running full speed. So that may be a bad analogy. I have no idea at the end of the day, but I think you guys kind of know where I'm getting at with that. What's up, guys? How's it going, Jordan Wheeler? How's it going? How's it going? Hopefully you all have had a great day so far. I see we got a few of you all starting to pile in. Hopefully you guys that have been watching so far have been enjoying this video stream. If you are, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate you guys always tuning in. You guys are awesome. Always tuning in to the show, to the channel, all of that. We're talking about, you know, how to, you know, break out of the limitations of a poverty mindset. Not necessarily poverty specifically, because a lot of people get it confused. They think, you know, I've never been in poverty, so how can I have a poverty mindset? You don't have to be in poverty to have a poverty mindset. All that poverty mindset is it's a fancy term for limiting beliefs, right? What am I doing? What am I saying more than anything to myself or to other people that is limiting our growth, either as a couple, as a family, as a business, whatever the case may be? you have to be very, very mindful of what you are telling yourself and telling others, because when you say you can't do that, be careful, all this other stuff, it adds up. It lets, for example, I always tell my wife this, she'll, and I do sometimes too, because I'm a father, right? We have young daughters. One just turned 3 months yesterday. The other one just turned 4 years old this past week. Like, I'm a father of 2 youngins and daughters at that. So I'm, of course, Mr. Lion at the end of the day. Like, I'm always wanting to be the protector at the end of the day, right? But, I have to be careful. And I even mentioned to my wife, I'm like, hey, we can't be constantly, telling them, or I guess just the 4-year-old right now, because the 3-month-old can't really do anything, but we can't constantly be reinforcing to her, be careful, be careful, be careful. Like, we need to let her fuck up. We need to let her make mistakes. Well, she might get hurt. Okay, if she gets hurt, guess what? She's going to learn that, hey, maybe I shouldn't have done it that way. How can I do it differently? Like, you have to make mistakes to be able to learn. And it's not to say, just let your kids go jump off the roof or anything crazy, right? But I think you guys kind of get what I'm saying at the end of the day. You have to be very careful with, putting safeguards in place for yourself in all aspects of life, but at the same time, not crossing that very fine line of safeguards versus just full-on limiting beliefs at the end of the day. Prime example of this, speaking of my daughter, is being shy. A lot of people will say, oh, you're so shy. Don't tell her that shit. She's not shy. She's not shy at all. Don't tell her that she's shy. That's one thing that people always told me, and because of that, I was shy growing up. I hated public speaking. It was one of the main reasons I dropped out of college. As a matter of fact, I would have like literal panic attacks, sweating in the palms and things, because I was just shy, because everybody told me my entire life, oh, you're shy, it's okay, this and that. And it's not okay. You can't be shy. You have to be able to speak to people. How are you gonna, we're talking about putting on a event at some point here in the next year or two. How the hell would I be able to put on an event if I believe that I'm shy, right? How would I be able to get on YouTube and, share information with you guys about growing a 6-figure business and achieving financial freedom, trading in the stock market, so on and so on? Even way back 7-8 years ago, when I was first talking about, doing Amazon FBA and eBay, before it was even cool, by the way. Now it's a total joke. I wouldn't even touch it. But, how would I be able to do all of that if I just said, oh, I'm shy. I'm shy. I just listen to everybody. So, at the end of the day, we've been live for about 20 minutes now. I'll probably be going ahead and hopping off soon. But at the end of the day, I just want you guys to take away from this in terms of ending the poverty mindset, that you ultimately control your beliefs, obviously, and your beliefs are what control how far you are going to or not going to go in terms of success, and regardless of what form of success it might be, success in marriage, success in business, success in finance, whatever the case may be. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream, or like I said, if you're watching this post-stream in video format, hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in as always. And if you haven't already, smash the subscribe button below. We're trying to get to 2,000 subs before the end of August. You guys are awesome. We've been getting like 5 to 10 of you a day lately. So yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all those good things, so you'll be notified anytime we go live or upload another video. And I hope you all are staying safe, staying cool out there. It's about 103 degrees right now, so hopefully wherever you are, you're staying safe and staying hydrated out there. And I'll see you guys in the next video or in our next podcast. Take it easy, everybody.